Hi guys, I am back. I'm here to do another update. It's been a little over a week. So Bentley is about 4.5 weeks post-op. Tuesday was 4 weeks, so we are getting very close. Only 2 more weeks worth of the stretching exercises that I have to do, so that'll be awesome. I can't wait for that to be over with. I hate doing that. He actually doesn't mind anymore. He doesn't fuss or anything, which is good, but it's still a pain. I have to do it 5 times a day, so kind of sucks. But I'm here to update in good spirits again still. You guys, a lot, just in the past couple of weeks, a lot has gone on, and I just can't wait to share with you my good news and how excited I am to continue our breastfeeding journey. I made some notes so that hopefully the video is not so long. Now, last time I updated on my milk supply and how it was increasing and it was doing really well. In the drug that I'm on, the domperidone, I increased that 2 weeks ago to the max dose. And about a week ago, I would say, maybe in the past week, I have noticed a significant increase in my supply. Now, the last time I posted, I believe I had something like 12 ounces or a little bit more than maybe 12 ounces in the freezer of extra milk. I now have 30 ounces, which is great. That's over 7 feedings worth. And I actually have some more, I think like 2 ounces in the fridge as well. So that is awesome news. And I really think that increasing it to the max dose was the sweet spot for me. I think that's really what's done it. Also, as Bentley's continuing to heal, he's able to transfer more milk well, remove the milk better. And just, the more he feeds and the more efficient he is at feeding, the more my supply will increase on its own as well. So we had a lot of appointments on Wednesday. Bentley had his 6-month checkup with his doc. I saw my doctor, and I also saw Stacy, my lactation consultant. So, and I want to touch on a couple of things, but real quick before I forget, we also have not had formula since August 8th. So, I don't know, 2.5 weeks, going on 3 weeks coming up. So that's awesome as well. He's had no formula since August 8th, which is almost 3 weeks. But, so a couple of things. At his 6-month checkup on Wednesday at the pediatrician's office, he weighed 14 pounds, 9 ounces. So that's great, which was a gain in 7 weeks, because he saw her on July 1st. So in 7 weeks, he gained exactly 3.5 pounds. He weighed 11.1, and this week he was 14.9. So 3 pounds, 8 ounces, you guys. He gained 3.5 pounds in 7 weeks, which is awesome. I remember from birth to 2 months, he gained 4 pounds. And then when we went in for his 4-month appointment, he had only gained 1.7. And I thought, oh my gosh. And that's when all this, craziness started and my journey with him started. So I remember telling the doctor, I wonder if I can get him, what would be your recommendation for a good ideal weight for his 6-month checkup? Are you shooting for us to gain up to 4 pounds? And she said, no, that would be probably unrealistic and pretty hard because he had such a great setback. So she actually walked in and she said, wow, 14.9, what have you been doing? And I just told her everything that I'd been doing with the SNS and all the pumping and the domperidone and, everything. And she said, wow, it's really worked. And she doesn't even need to see him again for another weight check. She doesn't want to see him again until his 9-month checkup, which is amazing, you guys. She was so, so happy about Bentley's weight gain. Now, he was 14.9 at his pediatrician's office. If you guys, I have a home scale for infants that I bought off Craigslist. It was used. And I bought it to monitor his weight when all of this started. If you guys want to go that route, it's fine, but there's a couple things to remember and to keep in mind. I weigh myself every Friday. After I had Bentley, I decided to weigh myself every Friday just to keep track of my weight loss after I had him. And my scale that I have at home, I saw my doctor on Wednesday as well, which is why I brought that up, because the scale at home, which I weighed myself on today, and the scale at the doctor's office is exactly 8.5 pounds different. So the doctor's office has me 8.5 pounds heavier than my home scale. Now, that's fine because the point is consistency. You want to make sure that, on my home scale, I'm losing weight consistently, which is great. Even if you go to the doctor, though, and the weight is more, and you're like, oh no, I didn't want to gain weight, just remember that every scale is different. They're all calibrated differently. Some of them are in need of calibration to be better. And then with the infant scales, they have to be very sensitive. So, like the one that I have at home, I haven't really been weighing him on it. I mean to. Every time I, wake him up in the morning, I tell myself I want to weigh him just to see what it says. But I haven't weighed him in quite a while just because I keep forgetting. But every scale is different. So if you guys are following your baby's weight at home and you have a home scale, go by that just, for your own peace of mind. But don't be surprised if you go to your LC's office or your doctor's office and it's more or even less, because it can fluctuate, it can be all over the place. So just make sure that if you do buy a scale to use at home, or if you are seeing a lactation consultant and your pediatrician like I'm doing. Also, when we saw Stacy, our lactation consultant, on Wednesday, her reading was 14.5. So he weighed 4 ounces less at her office, which was only a few hours later. So it goes to show you, even professional scales can be off a little bit. So, so just something to keep in mind when you're watching your baby's weight and when you take them to different places, and even if you have a home scale. But I'm going with the pediatrician's weight because that's really what matters. His last weight at her office was so low that I really wanted to see what it was this time. Stacy's scales are quite accurate as well, but who knows? And he may have weighed more one day a few weeks ago when we saw her last, or may have weighed less, but I'm going with 14.9 because he does feel he's gaining some weight. I mean, I can tell when I pick him up. So I wanted to let you guys know that real quick. Let's see, no formula, got some milk in the freezer. He's 14.9 at the doc's office. Told you about the scales. And I believe I mentioned this a minute ago about my milk supply and how I increased it to the maximum domperidone dose. When I saw Stacy, my lactation consultant, on Wednesday, and told her that he is now, gosh, I can't remember the last time he had a bottle. I should have looked that up in his feeding log. I might be able to find that really quickly. It's been a while. Let me see. The last time he had a bottle, today is what is today? Today's the 26th, I think. Yeah. Today's the 26th, and his last bottle was, oh, that's right, on the 22nd, so 4 days ago, I gave him 1 ounce after he nursed because I wasn't really sure if he was still hungry. He was kind of fussy, so I just gave him 1 ounce. I actually gave him, the bottle was, I believe it had 3 ounces in it, and so I offered it to him, and he only took 1, and then he kept playing with it, and so he probably was full, and I just was feeding him to make sure he got enough. So I don't really count that one because he didn't really need it. But the day before, on August 21st, he did get 1 4-ounce bottle of breast milk, of course. And so I would say August 21st, so 4 or 5 days he's gone without having to have a bottle. He's been exclusively breastfed. He's been EBF for the past 4 or 5 days. I've been waking up with him in the middle of the night. The interesting thing, too, I believe he's going through quite a growth spurt. He's also teething. He's 6 months, and I know Maverick got his first 2 bottom teeth when he was 7 months old. So interesting to see when Bentley gets his. But he has started to wake more during the night and feed more often during the day. He would go 4 to 5 hours and be fine. He is now at the 2 or 3 hour mark and feeding a lot more often and waking up at least twice a night, probably for the past 4 to 5 days, probably all of this week actually. He's been waking up twice a night. So he has gone from feeding 4 times during the day and once at night to feeding, let me see his log. This is why I write everything down in the log. I love it. Yesterday he only, or sorry, yeah, yesterday he fed 6 times. The day before that it was 7 times. The day before that it was 6. Before that it was 8. So he's just all over the place. He's feeding a lot, which is great. That's great stimulation to keep my supply going. And it's really good for him. He needs the extra calories and fat. So that's actually a good thing. I mean, it's, I do have to wake up 1 or 2 more times in the middle of the night, and I have to feed him more often during the day. But to me, it's a great thing. I will feed him whenever he wants. He is a breastfed baby on demand, and I want him to have access to it whenever he wants. So I remember last night my husband, he said, if he wakes up in the middle of the night, do you want to give him a bottle? So, you need some rest. I've been pretty tired lately, just doing a lot of stuff around the house. And I said, no bottles. Whenever I'm around, he's going to get my milk. I'm going to breastfeed him. Tomorrow, Chase and I, my husband and I, are going to the beach for the first time this summer. We live at the beach. We live in Virginia Beach, and we've not been this whole summer, but we have 2 little kids, so it's pretty hard to do that. But tomorrow, the grandparents are going to watch both the boys. They have never watched Bentley for longer than maybe an hour or 2. So this will be really interesting, but we should be gone maybe 4 or 5 hours depending, but it's a beach and it has a pool. It's like a club up in near his parents' house, and so we'll be gone about 4 or 5 hours, and like I said, I have plenty of milk, which is great. But I'll also have to pump while I'm there, because whenever you're away from the baby, let's say I drop him off at noon and he nursed at 11, well, I need to be ready to pump around 3, about 4 hours later. So whenever you're apart from baby, always make sure you have a pump with you ready to go. Make sure you have extra batteries if you don't have the electrical outlet to plug it in, if you have that kind of pump, or if you're using a manual pump or whatever. Just don't forget that when you're apart from him and the baby gets a bottle, whenever baby gets a bottle, you have to pump. So I'll have to pump somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to pump yet. Maybe in the car, but who knows. So tomorrow he's going, that'll be interesting to see how that goes, with him getting breast milk and being watched by the grandparents. So that'll be cool to see. Another thing though, because he is feeding so often and my supply is now up, my lactation consultant was telling me about how I can, maybe in about a week or so, we don't want to do it too quickly, I can start to wean off the domperidone, just go down by like 1 pill a day for about a week and see if it impacts my supply. If it doesn't, then go down another pill for a week and see how it goes. So I may not need to be on the max dose. I probably don't need to be on the max dose, at least for the next couple of weeks, a month or 2. It's not a terribly expensive drug. It is a hell of a lot cheaper than formula though. So that makes me feel good when I have to buy it. But to be even back to my starting dose, or maybe even less than that, and then eventually maybe not have to have it at all, is just great. And that's what I'm looking forward to, and I'm sure that day will come. I'm trying to think, if I feel like there's way more I had to tell you guys today, but basically we're doing great. Like I said, he's eating more often. He's still eating solids 3 times a day. He's been doing that wonderfully. His weight was great. My supply is up. I'm just really, really happy today, and I just really I hope this video touches someone out there that needs encouragement. If you're on a journey that is full of bumps in the road like mine was for the past 2 months, and you're just really struggling and want to give up, just please, persevere, get help, reach out, get a hold of a really good lactation consultant. You can always contact La Leche League, which is free. via email, or they have meetings, of course, like I've mentioned in several videos. But just get help, and just, don't give up. It's, unless, I told my husband when we were, 2 months ago when all this started, and I had to do the SNS feeds, and I was pumping at night, and I was pumping at 3 a.m., and I had a toddler to deal with also. I told my husband, when it gets to the point where it's just absolutely driving me crazy to try to breastfeed him, and I'm losing my mind, then I'll consider just giving up and giving him formula. I got to that point many times, but I was always able to reel myself back in and remind myself to focus and just do the best that I can, and that's all you can do. Now, the domperidone was what worked for me to get my supply up. Also, I think Bentley's tongue tie healing is helping as well. But really, some women need the drug to help get their supply back up. I had such a, I was only pumping 1 to 2 ounces a day out of both breasts combined when I first met with my LC, after we found out about Bentley's really bad, really poor weight gain, really, his weight issues. And so to go from that to now being an EBF baby on demand in about 2 months is fantastic. So, but I needed the drug. So just something to consider also. Sometimes our bodies don't work the way we want them to, and we have to have intervention, unfortunately. But it worked. So I think that's all for today. He will be 5 weeks post-op next Tuesday. He doesn't even fuss anymore with the stretches, like I said, so I'm not really worried about that. And we're doing great. I don't know when my next update will be. I feel like I'm in a spot where, he's EBF now and no bottles, and I have a freezer stash, and I don't even really have plans to see my LC anymore in the future. I don't really need to unless more problems come up, which I don't think they will. We're doing so well. And like I said, his next pediatrician appointment is not until his 9-month checkup in 3 months. So we're doing great. I don't know when my next video will be. If you guys want me to do videos on anything else or Q&A on anything at all, please let me know in the comments below. I don't have many subscribers. Most of you guys are friends and family. But if you have any questions, just ask me. I love making these videos, and I love watching YouTube videos, so I would love to have something in the comments, even if it's a smiley face or something. But anyways, thank you guys for watching and being so supportive and following me these past 2 months. I'll continue to update, and like I said, we're all doing well. So I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.